I think that works out pretty well. Yeah. 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 I think that works out pretty well. Okay. Oh my goodness. Let me reintroduce myself. My name is um hi. Hi. Okay. Wow. Man, it has been a little chaotic around here. Um how do I introduce myself? I'm Mariah. Nice to meet you. Um I'm kind of just I'm kind of just a little bit of everything, to be honest. Um I have wanted to be in the creative space for a long, long time. A long, long time. But I've never really had I've never really had the opportunity to do that. Um what is ew. Yeah, that's me. That's me. That's like me wrapped up in a million things. Um I've never really like dived in. Like if I think about myself, I think about myself as like a background person, like a crew, like the supporting crew, like the person that if you need lights, I got you. If you need the camera and the angles and the photographer, I've got you. But to actually be in front of the camera, this is weird for me. And I should have done this like 15 years ago when I don't look so aged because now I'm really showing my age, which is great. It's reality. It's real. And I took off my pimple patch because I thought it made me look better to not have a pimple patch on, but I probably didn't. Um, but I'm like, so I'm 31, which yeah, I'm not like old by industry standards, but I'm up there. And I just, I don't know. I feel like for once, for some reason, I don't have like I don't necessarily have a blocker anymore of why I should or shouldn't do something. And in the age of everybody and anybody putting themselves out there and allowing other people to see humanity in so many different characters and facets, it's like, why not just add myself to the mix? And I've gone through like I've gone through many versions of myself. I've gone through well, characteristically, I've gone through a lot. I've gone through um it's going to make me sound like pick me. I've gone through childhood abandonment. See, I can't even get it out without me like, ooh. I've gone through childhood abandonment. So that made me into kind of like a victim child. I went through being a little girl in school that had to go through the bully phase. I was in clubs like 4-H and FFA. I don't know how many people actually know what that is, but for those that do, where's my country kids at? But why was I a country kid when I grew up in suburbia? Like, I grew up in the Bay Area and then we moved to suburbia outside of the Bay Area. And then when my dad left, and like that's a whole other story that's just toxic. But after that, and going through all the childhood bullying and just like being a little lost puppy. I found things like being a part of these clubs like 4-H and FFA, so I really got to explore my country lifestyle, raising animals, getting dirty, not thinking too much about anything, like really just getting in there. And it taught me a lot. Like it taught me leadership, it taught me how to public speak. It taught me how to really just say yes to things and to challenge myself. And from there, um I I wasn't a good student by any means. I had like growing up, I was in and out of the office. Um, Not for anything bad, but just particularly because I challenged a lot of things and I challenged adults. So I I don't know. I've always seen myself as somebody who has a little bit of a different view on the world, even from like I can remember back to 4 years old. I I saw things differently. Like I just the view of my world felt a little bit more familiar as a kid, and compared to like what other people have told me, I think it was a little bit too insightful for being young. And then that kind of just grew into who I am today. So, coming out of high school, I put myself through college. Um I went into jobs that you wouldn't go into coming right out of high school. Like I went straight into an office, and I I like to build my I like to just keep building up. Like I like to challenge myself and make myself better. So I just kind of always followed this more serious, direct path of life that I thought was meant for me. And um I'm a creative. Like that's in my soul, but it's not something that I've ever been able to explore really. Um I Out of high school, to be honest, I wanted to go to film school, but not to bash on my family, but everybody knows my talents are in business and everybody knows that my talents are doing something logistically, doing something business like. But out of high school, like I had a camera in my hand every day. I was making videos. I was editing videos in the era of 2013 where it's just like the start of different apps, and you see things like streaming, and like people are at the height of making music videos, and it was just a time to be creative and explore those things. And I don't think people really understood like how much I loved it. I really loved it. And I got my friends into it, and I really really like wanted to be a director. And unfortunately, my family was like, I don't think you should go to film school. It's a lot of money, and the payback isn't always like 100% for everybody. So I didn't, and I did business. Um but honestly, if I would have gone to film school, yes, I know I would have excelled. I know that I would have been in a different place than I am today, but I wouldn't have had the experiences that I have. Um I have a lot of experience where it's like now, instead of being somebody who only had 18 years of experience to dive into creating something and then being immersed in a world where you kind of just are on a path of, okay, you're here and then you're just going to keep doing what you're doing. But as somebody who wanted to be a director and a storyteller, now I actually have stories to tell. Now I actually have experiences to share. Now I actually have insight from a different path that I took. So being a creative, it found me again because it had lost me for a long time. And you know what's irritating? You know what's irritating? You know what really chaps my ass is that people that I was friends with or people that I was in relationships with that got to see those creative side of me and were immersed in the vision that I had. Those people now love to make videos and love to take pictures, and I get mad at myself because I'm like why did I let those experiences kill my creativity? And why did I let those experiences kill my motivation to keep going? Like, why did I tie it to experiences and let it stop me throughout moments of my life? Because moments where I had really good friends and really good relationships where they were fun and they were driven by the experiences that we had together, those were the moments where I felt like I could be the most creative. And then when they ended, then my drive to make videos or take pictures ended too. So I've had to like keep finding this, but there's a reason why it keeps coming back to me. Like I've got I've got so much camera equipment. I've got so much camera equipment and it sits there and it looks at me and I look at it and I'm like, I'll get to you. I will. We'll find each other. Right now, it's not a good time. It's not the right time. We're just not on the same time. But I'm kind of at a crossroads right now because I got laid off from my career job 3 years ago. 3 years ago. I act like it was yesterday. No, it was 3 years ago. And it wasn't anything I did. It was just a predicament that happened and half of my company got laid off. Um so for the last 3 years I went in a different direction and I was grooming dogs. I took my boyfriend's mom up on the opportunity to learn how to groom dogs, and as we all learn, you just shouldn't do business with your mother-in-law, your future mother-in-law. So I took a step away from that, and I've been I've been trying to like go back into the world that I'm familiar with because I think that not to say anything negative about people's choices of jobs and things like that, but I think that when you have specific skills, I think that you should really hone in on them in certain ways. Like, don't get me wrong, I loved being a creative in a different space like that. I think it was the wrong space for me and it wasn't something that I was going to invest my entire future into. I can groom your dog now though. 100% I could groom your dog, make that look good. But where I'm at now is I'm in limbo. I don't really have a plan. It's really like whatever comes to me. And I keep getting opportunities and signs where it's like I think I'm in the right place. As weird as that sounds for somebody who has been working for the last 15 years and it's just been like business after business after business, and I'm still one of those people where if you give me your business and you're you feel like you're kind of losing it, like I'm one of those people that you give me your business and I'll build it back up. That's just who I am. And I'm a good leader. I love to lead people. I love to be a support for people. I love just being the person who brings the vision back and you say, what is each individual person contributing to make this whole operation better? And I can be your support gal. I can be the person who helps each one of you build yourself back up and get back on track. And like we're gonna get through this shitstorm together. We're gonna make it and we're gonna be successful at it. So I I need to be that for myself now. That's the biggest thing that I think I lack a lot of is I can be that for every other person, but I can't be that for myself. It's for some reason it's hard. Like I'm a great mentor for everybody else but myself. Isn't that funny? Isn't that ironic? Um so right now I'm switching over and I'm being a mentor to myself and I'm putting time into myself and I'm saying now is now. And I'm not getting any younger and I'm just going to get older and I'm losing time and I'm not single, but I don't have kids. There's a reason why I'm where I'm at, and there's a reason why like now with the space that I'm in. I don't know if you could hear that. That's my bird clock. That's my bird clock. My grandma got that for me. Let me take a little sip. That needed to be mixed. But right now, and where I am right now, has given me. So this is why I know that I'm on the right trajectory. And as somebody who is faith based, I follow God's lead. And whether or not that makes you uncomfortable, if that makes you uncomfortable, I don't know what to tell you. I follow God's lead. And through every step of my life, whatever it is, good or bad, He's always been there. And it's always been my choice to make the choices that I make. So whether or not I put myself in a good position or a bad one, I got to figure it out. And so right now I've been given this opportunity to not work, to be able to semi support myself. But what's come with that is, although it is a little daunting to not know what the next step is and not know where I'm going to go next, I keep getting this message in my mind that's like, God, Mariah, you have the power. You literally have the power to do something. And then that doubt sitting in your mind that's like, yeah, but what if, fuck, what if I can't? Like, what if I can't do it? What if I can't make it? But then it's like, not doing it, you're not even trying. So I keep taking these little steps and they keep paying off. And it's like, okay, 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 I see you. And so, with any great accomplishment, there are trials and there are moments where you question the shit out of it every step of the way. But where people really lose themselves is once you get to the other side and then you start to become successful, you lose the plot. You lose the uh you basically throw away all of the experiences that you had leading up to that point, and then you get so comfortable being a successful position that you disregard all the work that you did to get there. So then you kind of come to a point where you stop quite I don't know if it would be questioning yourself. I guess it would, but you kind of get to a point where you become too comfortable and then you're not challenging yourself again. And for me, I think that's my scary thought in my head is I don't know, I always need a challenge. I always need something to better myself. And I feel like listening to it out loud it sounds a little bullshit like, "Oh, I'm scared of succeeding because I'm scared that I'm going to become something that I don't want to be and I'm not going to be in a place to like become different again." Weird. Weird. And you would think that this the first time I've thought about this, but it's not. It's not. So, I don't know. I'm a lot in a nutshell. But I am somebody that keeps challenging things and I'm somebody that just keeps pushing the boundaries and I push myself a little bit slower than how I push other people because I can see people's long-term um what's the word? What's that word? What's that word? What's that word? Potential. I just had to put two and two together in my mind. I was like, what do people do wrong in relationships when they see the potential in people? Yeah. Yeah. Um, I gotta just see the potential in myself. So that's kind of where I am. That's where I am. And I'm gonna keep going and I'm gonna keep seeing what happens for me. But for now, I think this is a good start. I think it's a good start. One day I'll be able to look back on this and say, I either did it or I didn't. Um, and honestly, at the end of the day, I just want to make sure that I'm fulfilling what I feel like needs to be fulfilled for me. And I don't want to be unfair to myself and not try. Because I see a lot of people that have gotten to the point of where I believe I want to be. And I don't think they're doing good with it. And my big purpose in life is to do good with whatever I get and to be good for other people. And I think some of us with that mindset sometimes have to work a little bit harder because the outcome and the payoff is so much greater. And God knows that we can take on a lot more battles and He knows that we'll appreciate the outcome so much more. So that's just what I believe. And yeah, so we'll see where I go. And maybe it'll be something great in whatever perception of people's minds that is defined. Thanks.